Telco Sports welcomes you to this coverage of high school basketball where the Bremen Cardinals take on the Botkins Trojans. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Green Lake Health Systems, and NK Telco. Along with Jeremy Kleiman, I'm Dave Kanapke. Tuesday night basketball here should be a good matchup between 2 and 3 Bremen, 3 and 3 Botkins. First start with the Cardinals, as I mentioned, 2-3 overall, 1-0 in the MAC. Coming off a tough loss to a good team, the Versailles on Saturday by 11. Coach Timmermans, talked to him, he gave us some notes. He's pretty happy with their practices. Hope he can start turning the corner for his team.
Well, he's got a young team here. We're going to hear that repeated a couple times tonight, Dave. Both teams are a little bit younger, and Coach Timmerman talked about that. You know, he's got the young freshman there in Michaela Firks, who's starting at guard there, 5'10" guard. She's playing extremely well, coming in, averaging 10.8 points a game. So, you know, those kind of things, trying to get them acclimated, get them going against some extremely tough competition. They got a nice tournament coming up this weekend, a holiday tournament with, I believe, Anna and Miami East and St. Mary's. So, you know, I think he would like to kind of keep this ball rolling. He said, like you said, he had a couple good practices, would like to keep that going.
His third year at the helm of the Bremen is alma mater, Andy Timmerman. For the Botkins Trojans, Tyler Carson, the head coach. Botkins is 3-3 in the season, 1-3 in the Shelby County Athletic League. Losses to the top of the league in Laramie, Jackson, Santa Rucci. Jeremy, they've been dealing with injuries, and because of that, some younger players are taking on some roles maybe they're not quite ready for, but trying to get there.
Well, one of the biggest hits that started right at the beginning of the year when they lost Mulaney Maurer, their returning point guard. Then they get into game number 2. They lose senior guard Camden Paul to an ankle injury. She's trying to come back, but you know, it's a tough road, and it's asking girls like Peyton Plattfoot and Maddie Fry to step up and have themselves advanced workouts.
Yeah, looking at the scoreboard tonight, looks like Camden is in the starting lineup tonight.
She's going to go. She's going to give it a go. She's given it a go the last couple nights. It's been a little bit hobbly. She talked to her. She goes, it's a little day-to-day. Saturday, she didn't look great on it, but she's a tough kid, so she'll probably be out there going at it.
So Botkins and New Bremen should be a good matchup here. MAC versus the Shelby County Athletic League. We're going to pause for the national anthem, come back with the starting lineups on NK Telco Sports.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our 4-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Game here at Botkins between the Trojans.
And our umpires, Mr. Michael Wilson and Alan Berlinski. Gentlemen, welcome to Botkins High School.
Coliseum at Botkins. Bremen will be introduced first. They're in their black uniforms, trimmed with gold.
Beginning with the visitors from New Bremen High School.
Head coach for New Bremen.
They are number 2, Marina Nelson.
It's Andy Timmerman, Marina Nelson, averaging 10 points a game for 5'7" junior. Number 3, 5'7" junior Mia Hirschfeld.
Number 20, Mary Rindler.
Mary Rindler, 3 points a game for the 5'8" South.
Number 23,
Michaela Firks, freshman, averaging 11 points a game. And Chloe Holman, number 30, averaging 13 points and 9 rebounds a game. So Marina Nelson, Mia Hirschfeld, Mary Rindler, Michaela Firks, and Chloe Holman, 5 starters for third-year head coach Andy Timmerman. Also assistant Andy Timmerman, JV coaches John Storr, and the assistant coaches Emily Mesher. Now for the Botkins Trojans as they set the mood here. 3-3 on the season. Head coach Tyler Carson in his second year.
Starting at one guard, 5'20" senior, number 2.
Coming Back from injury, number 2, 5'3" senior Camden Paul. Camden averages 3 points a game.
Starting at a second guard position, he's a 5'4" freshman and 1/2 assistant Plattfoot. Number 3,
Peyton Plattfoot, 5'4" freshman, just under 4 points a game. Where's number 3?
Starting at a third guard position, a 5'7" junior, number 12.
Janelle Plattfoot, a 5'8" senior, averaging 5.3. She scored 8 and 7 the last 2 games.
Starting at 1'4", she's a 5'7" junior, number 32,
Jana Metz having a nice season, 7 points a game, 7.7 rebounds a game for the 5'7"
She's
junior.
number 10, she's a senior, she's 5'8". The other half of the sisters Plattfoot.
Next, Janelle Plattfoot, 5'8" senior. So again, it's Paul, Plattfoot, Delaney Pitts, and Jana Metz, the 5 starters for the Trojans. So we're getting ready to play. Let's talk about our keys to the game, Jeremy. Brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Let's start with the Cardinals.
For Andy Timmerman's 2 and 3, New Bremen Cardinals, 3 keys that he had: win one-on-one battles, take advantage of their pressure and traps, and play with confidence.
Those are the keys for New Bremen. Now let's talk about Botkins.
For Tyler Carson's 3 and 3 Trojans, he said they need to make open shots, limit turnovers, and rebound to finish possessions.
And those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza, New Bremen, Ohio. Tip is controlled by New Bremen. We are underway. Glad you're joining us here on NK Telco Sports. Cardinals in black as they will lob down to Chloe Holman. Ball on the floor. We have a jump ball. Over possession. We'll give it to the Trojans.
You know, you talked about it, Dave, and we saw her come out. We didn't know if she was going to start, going to play, or not. Camden Paul, she might be 5'3", but that motor's awfully big, and she's the one that runs his Trojans. And without her, it's been a tough motor to run. So
good to have a senior back in the lineup. There's a 3-ball shot there by Janelle Plattfoot. Rebound by Holman. Holman averaging almost 9 rebounds a game, 13 points. Cardinals have 3 different players averaging double figures with Nelson, Firks, and Holman. Holman with the basketball. Firks thought about it. She'll drive to the basket. That is short. Rebound there by Rindler, and we will have a travel. Botkins ball again. Botkins, their wins have been over Coldwater, New Knoxville, and Fairlawn. I had to read my writing. Losses to Fort Laramie, Jackson Center, and Russia. Coming off a loss to Russia Saturday, I believe. They lob it down underneath, and that is tipped away. Botkins able to keep the possession here. Pitts with the basketball. Leading score at 9.3 in the lane. Tried to pass it. Had to take one more steps. Turnover for the Trojans. For New Bremen, their wins have been over Fort Recovery and Lincoln View. Losses to Delphus, Jefferson, Covington, and to Versailles last Thursday night in MAC League. Botkins with a little man-to-man pressure. Marina Nelson, first team All-MAC last year, along with Holman.
Cammy Paul, not only offensively have they missed her, but defensively. Camden, you know, with her quick feet and her soccer feet and her strength is, I would venture to say, and I would argue to say, one of the best perimeter defenders floor to floor in the area. And as we see her come from behind to get a steal there.
Unfortunately, the ball went right to Marina Nelson, and she takes it in for the layup. It was a nice steal that she took it away from Holman, but Cardinals capitalized for the first 2 points here in the ball game.
And she's the head of a lot of their defensive pressure, and that's where they've missed her just as bad. Now, offensively, that's another story in and of itself. I believe Tyler Carson would love to see Janelle Plattfoot get super aggressive shooting here. The young lady shooting 47% from 3, and I think he'd like to see, as a senior, her get a little bit more chucky. There she's got, looks like she's passed up about 2 or 3 of them. Wouldn't you say, Dave?
Yeah, this working against this 2-3 zone. That's your shots if you can get it as a 3-pointers, and that shot there by Pitts draws back iron. Cardinals trying to push it up ahead to Hirschfeld. in a little bit of trouble. Ringler comes up with a rebound. Wide open is Firks for the basket. 4-0 Cardinals here with 5:12 to go here in the first quarter. Botkins trying to figure out this zone here. Pretty aggressive and active zone. It's always one of the things I look for is how much are you moving when you're playing zone defense. And so far, Cardinals doing. They got some pretty tall players out at the points.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot of length at the points as Camden Paul tries to go baseline and find Jana Metz in the middle there. Unfortunately, a lot of traffic there.
Firks gives it up. Holman wide open for the tray and splashes it home. 7-0 Cardinals, and Coach Carson wants to take a break and reset. Be a full timeout. You're watching girls high school basketball on NK Toko Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We are certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Coming out of this precision strip timeout. Cardinals up 7-0. Coach Carson trying to regroup, see if they can come up with some offense here in this possession.
You know, if the Trojans are going to beat this 2-3 zone that the New Bremen's playing here, Janelle Plattfoot's a key. She can't just be a swing player at the top of that key and throw it one side to the other. She has to look to shoot. And as a 4-year varsity player, she's earned that right to take shots, whether some of them might even be questionable at times. But, you know, that's what she can do. And Jana Metz gets into the hole right now, puts the Trojans on the board.
As you often see, Coach Andy Timmerman switch out of that zone after timeout, but Botkins able to switch to the man offense and score. There's a 3-ball by Nelson, draws back iron. Outlet pass ahead to Paul. Pitts trying to drive, shuffles it.
New Bremen back to that 2-3 zone.
Trying to post up underneath
right there.
Metz.
That's a shot Janelle needs to be willing to take. That 1 or 2 foot behind the 3-point line. Just be ready and let it go. Especially lately, Jana Metz is averaging almost 8.5 rebounds per game in the last 3 games.
There's a turnaround and shoot there. You got to be, when you catch the ball, you got to be able to catch and shoot.
Yep.
And it's got to be a good pass to catch and shoot. Pitts thought about it. Pitts is more of a driver, a slasher, though.
I agree with you wholeheartedly there.
There's Peyton Plattfoot's shot is too strong. Cardinals on the attack. Homan, Hirschfeld. That's a 3-pointer. We have a foul on the rebound against the Cardinals. It'll go against 23 is Michaela Firks. Coming into the game for the Cardinals is Abby Burton will come into the game.
Number 22, Maddie Fry, into the game for the Trojans here.
Fry's gotten some starts of late, a 5'10 freshman. Pitts trying to move, shoots it over Holman. Rebound by Paul to Pitts. Nice basket. TD Pitts with a nice basket. Nice save there. An assist there to set up Pitts. Pass underneath. And that will be a turnover to the Trojans. Into the game is number 20, Reagan McFerrin into the game. 2:38 to go. They started out 7-0 Cardinals. Trojans, a little 4-0 run. See if they can build on this.
The Cardinals do a nice job kind of disguising if they're in man or if they're going to drop back in that 2-3. They got one of their top girls picking up way beyond half court. Usually it's Hirschfeld out there. And then the other 3 just kind of drop back, and there's Camden Paul from deep.
Long rebound goes to Maddie Fry. Too strong off the glass. Rebound to the Cardinals. Cardinals pushing the tempo as much as they can. Nelson. Rindler with the jumper, too strong. Botkins on the attack. Paul setting up the offense. Bremen stays in that 2-3 zone. You have number 2 Nelson, number 3 Hirschfeld. There's Pitts. Will do a long 2. Holman, a very good athlete, good rebounder with the rebound, and she will let the 3 go, and that's 2 threes for Chloe Holman.
She's cleaning up on the offensive boards down there pretty much, and then come down and knock that 3 down. Nice display there by Holman.
Holman, a senior, one of 2 seniors on the team, her and Abby Burden. Holman was also first team All-MAC last year. D.D. Pitts trying to pass underneath, off the mark. Cardinals with a chance to capitalize. Hirschfeld will give it to Burden, shot up. Back iron is controlled there by Maddie Fry. She will take it across the timeline, get it to Camden Paul. Botkins would really like to get a bucket or 2 here before the quarter break.
Yeah, they would, and you can tell, you talk about a little bit of the confusion of, you know, people having to take new spots there. Maddie Fry grabs the rebound. Reagan McFerrin.
Long 3 there.
Yeah, she was. Hit 3 of them on Thursday night against Fairlawn to kind of really break that open, and had 2 of them within 3 possessions there.
That was about a 22-footer back there. It's 19-9 in high school there at the 3-point line, so big basket.
But that's something what we talked about in the JV game a little bit, Dave. That 3-point line and the ability to shoot has extended, not just for boys, but for young ladies too, as Holman gets her bucket on the block for the first time.
The assist there by Abby Burden, and there's 1 second. There will be a travel, and that will end our first quarter of basketball on our first National Bank scoreboard. The Cardinals lead the Trojans 12-7 here on NK Toko Sports. Quarter in the books here at the Coliseum, and the Cardinals lead the Trojans 12-7.
For the numbers here to start off in the first quarter here, the Lady Trojans are 3 for 10 from the field, 1 for 3 from the 3-point line. The New Bremen Cardinals 5 for 10 from the field, 2 for 4 from the 3-point line, and just look more aggressive offensively. The Trojans look a little bit, I wouldn't say out of sorts, but are just almost being too patient to a fault. There were some looks there they're passing up on. You'd probably like to see them take them.
Holman finds Hirschfeld. Can't get the fall. And Pitts will draw, I believe, the 2nd foul on Michaela Firks. That's a big foul. New Bremen does not go very deep as Mary Rindler will come in to take Firks' spot.
Like we talked in pregame, that's 10.8 points heading to the bench there, Dave.
Yeah, they have, like I said, the 3 double-digit scorers, but they don't have a lot of balance after that or much scoring at all. So they average 41. Botkins averages 35, and there's another steal by Holman, and Holman's been impressive so far.
That's 6 turnovers so far in the half for the Trojans, and you know, in their 3 losses, and granted, these are teams that are really extremely good. In their 3 losses, averaging 26.5 turnovers a game. That's going to make it rough. Now, is some of that a result of not having Mulaney Maurer and Camden Paul? Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, but you can't just kind of turn it over, and sometimes they get a little bit lax with the basketball.
But so far, New Bremen has played better, but Botkins is still there. That big 3-pointer by McFerrin was big. Only 5 down. Long way to go. Put some possessions together. There's a nice pass underneath. Pitts can't get it to fall. Mets with a nice rebound. Shot there by Maddie Fry.
And as we talked about, Jana Metz averaging almost 9 8 rebounds a game, had 8 points and 10 rebounds on Saturday while guarding Ronnie Poland. Ronnie Poling.
Yeah.
From Rushi, who is an extremely tall young lady.
Mary Rendler with the jumper for the Cardinals for her first 2 points. Cardinals are led by Chloe Holman with 8. McPherson, the leading scorer, with 3 for the Trojans. They find themselves down by 5 here, 6 minutes to go before halftime. Cardinals stay in that zone. They pass it underneath. Holman steals it and it goes out of bounds. Another turnover on Botkins.
Right now, not much movement on the Trojans' part there. A little bit of standing around. Kind of looked like Didi was kind of driving some lanes that weren't necessarily available. Couldn't get anybody open, and the Trojans were a little out of sorts there.
Camden Paul and Janelle Plattfoot into the game. Allie Bornhorst, number 34, with the basketball, just checked in. Bornhorst just a sophomore. Nelson gives it up to Hirschfeld. 3-ball Nelson in and out. Pitts with the rebound. Push it up ahead, and there's another turnover. Up ahead to Rendler. She stops, resets herself, gets her balance, and knocks it down.
And those are the turnovers that kill. You're thinking you get a good look. You're going to get a good look on the other end. You turn it over instead. New Bremen in a hurry. Mary Rendler gets to the other end and gets the bucket.
Yeah, there's one thing if you throw it out of bounds, another thing if you turn it over and they're able to get a layup or a nice shot underneath like what the Cardinals did.
Jeff Henson's pet peeve, live ball turnovers.
Yep. Pitts trying to find an opening. Plattfoot, long 2, and Peyton Plattfoot's in the scorebook.
And that's probably that jumper that's going to be available. If you can get one of those guards to drive at one of those top defenders, that opens it up on the wing.
Nelson probably got away with the travel there. But it's not a turnover unless it's called. So Nelson with 4, lead back to 7 for the Cardinals. Pitts, Metz trying to post up underneath against the much taller 6-foot Chloe Holman. And there they're able to get it to Metz. She goes up strong, but nice block by Holman. And there's a nice steal by D.D. Pitts for the layup. So turnover being turned into points this time for Botkins.
Yeah, exactly. And Didi's one that they need to really get going in the last 3 games. Only averaging about 5 points a game. Came in the first 3 games averaging close to 18. She's kind of, right now, without Mulaney Maurer and Camden Paul, she's been the head of the offense, and they need to get her going.
There's another turnover. New Bremen had a missed layup by Nelson. There's a unforced error there on a double dribble by New Bremen. Maddie Fry back into the game for the Trojans. 3:41 to go. Trojans down by 5. I'm with Jeremy Plyman. I'm Dave Knapp. Glad you're on board here at NK Toko Sports. See Coach Timmerman in the background, coaching his alma mater for his 3rd year. Botkins by Tyler Carson. There's a turnaround by Pitts. Rebound by Bornhorst. Up ahead, Burden pushes it to Rendler. Burden will try to do a 3. Nice box out there by Jana Metz. Draws the foul over the back.
Pretty evident to see why Jana Metz is averaging almost 8 rebounds a game right now. She had that whole backside cleared out, and she did the same thing offensively on the offensive rebound she had down here.
She does quite well for only being 5'7".
She does a great job finding position and making sure she's going to be the underneath guy or underneath young lady.
Paul shoots the 3, blocked by Hirschfeld. Oh, Maddie Fry eventually comes up with it, and Fry is fouled. That sometimes happens too when you shoot that 3. That time's a block, but you shoot the 3, you get the long rebounds, and something happens sometimes.
And I think that's one thing we were talking a little bit with Janelle, being willing to shoot that 22, 23-footer from out there. because now you've got people guarding you. What it's done, like you said, Dave, not only is there a long rebound, but it's a long rebound into open space. So if girls from New Bremen, the defense is underneath you, it's now allowing Gianna Metz and Didi and them to push their defender underneath and the ball go get the basketball. So sometimes it makes for easier rebounding in there.
Maddie Fry with 4 points off the bench, all here in the second quarter. Botkins within 3. Bremen had, I believe their biggest lead was 7. See how they respond. They check back in with Chloe Holman. Rindler almost lost it. So reset with Nelson. There to Holman. Has to give it up. Abby Burden will reset to Hirschfeld. 2.5 to go. Good man-to-man defense being played by Botkins. They put up a shot, and Rindler will draw the foul.
Nice pump fake by Rindler to get Gianna Metz to get her hands up in the air, and then she tried to go around her, and then she just put the ball on the floor.
We'll say that was a common foul before she shot. Rindler, one of the senior, or I'm sorry, not senior, middle blockers on the state champion New Bremen team. Congratulations to Coach Diana Kramer and the rest of the Cardinals. Back-to-back for the Cardinals.
Good
pass
find.
Underneath. Holman to Nelson.
Right now, Holman's causing some issues for the Trojans. Even when she's not scoring out there, she's now finding open people.
There's the 3 by Plattfoot. Janelle hits the tray.
47% coming into the game, Dave. She's got to look for that shot. Almost hunt it down.
Within 2. Nelson will let the 3 go. Rebound by Rindler to Burden. Hirschfeld picks up her dribble. Holman with the basketball, and she will be fouled, and Holman will shoot 2.
And that's an issue for the Trojans right there, because that's number 2 on Gianna Metz. Looks like Reagan McFerrin probably going to come into the game for Gianna Metz. That'll move Maddie Fry over to draw the assignment there on number 20, Mary Rindler. Janelle Plattfoot's drawn the assignment of guarding Chloe Holman.
Holman splits the pair. Holman with 9. Timeout by Coach Andy Timmerman will be a full timeout. You're watching girls high school basketball on NK Toko Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Coming out of the precision strip timeout called by New Bremen, Coach Timmerman finds his Cardinals up by just 3 over the Botkins Trojans.
Chloe Holman causing a lot of issues for the Trojans. That was her first point of the second quarter here, but when she gets that ball in the middle of the lane there, she puts the ball on the floor. The Trojans are coming to her, and she does a great job of finding it on the opposite block or anywhere on the block. She even kicked out for a 3 there earlier. It was missed, but she's causing a lot of the offensive issues for the Trojans.
Some trapping by New Bremen as they pick up Botkins at half court. Coach Carson will call a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Give us an opportunity to thank our sponsors for making this telecast possible. First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, NK Telco. Our mid and post-game stats brought to you by Grand Lake Health. Our additional sponsors, Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwerdam and Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hillspun Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, Unansa Supply, Securcom, Buds Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Service, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radios. Coach Carson already with taking a quick time out there, trying to adjust as New Bremen kind of surprised them there.
Yeah, they jumped out and they came out in that press, and I don't think Coach Carson or the girls were quite ready for it. They were kind of caught off guard, and people were in a uncomfortable spot, and then the ball went to the ground, and Janelle had to kind of dive on it.
Turnaround by Dee Pitts. Cuts it within one. Botkins, after only scoring 7 points in the first quarter, has scored 13 here in the second. Underneath, wide open shot. Not able to fall, but Nelson eventually, the ball comes back to her. Marino will shoot 2 foul shots.
Nelson did a nice job staying after it. I believe it was Rindler in there going after the rebound and finally got it tipped around and came to Nelson.
Nelson hits the first free throw, averages right at 10 points a game. Sophomore last year, she made first team All-MAC. In the MAC, they have 12 first-teamers. Only 4 of those first-teamers from last year graduate. There's 8 underclassmen that are back this year in the MAC in girls, and the same as in boys, too. So it's a lot of talent back this season in the MAC.
That's why both of them will be ultra-competitive. Kind of a big foul there possibly for New Bremen. A foul 95 foot from the basket puts the Trojans on the next foul. They go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Nice block by Homan, 3 by Paul, and Homan with another rebound. Burden gives up to Nelson. Bad pass. Paul with the steal. Pitts to the basket. Stops. Turnaround. Rolls off. Down to 20 seconds. New Bremen will go for 1 here. Burden picks up her dribble. There's Homan again. And there's a steal by Paul. Pass ahead to Paul. Wide open for the 18-footer, Camden Paul. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Nelson will launch a long 3. We go to the halftime break. Just as we started, it is even. 22-22 in our First National Bank scoreboard. So teams go to the locker room. We'll come back with the first half stats and the second half here on NK Telco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Kogi Plumbing and Heating is your Bryant Factory authorized dealer. We have brought the best of comfort, control, and plumbing services to the St. Mary's area for over 60 years. We have been Reader's Choice winners for the last 4 years running and excel at providing our customers with efficient and reliable heating and air conditioning, as well as responsive service when a plumbing emergency arises. We insist that the products we install in our customers' homes and businesses offer the same performance and value that we expect ourselves. Call today for your next plumbing and heating or air conditioning needs. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Welcome back. We're at halftime here. A good first half of basketball. We are tied at 22-22 on our First National Bank scoreboard with our mid-game stats brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. Here's Jeremy Plyman.
Dave, both teams have 22 points, and the stats look eerily similar when you're looking at it. You know, the Trojans are 9 of 13 from the field. On the other hand, the Bremen Cardinals, 9 of 18 from the field. Trojans are 2 for 6 from 3. New Bremen, 2 for 5 from 3. Trojans are 2 for 2 from the free throw line. New Bremen's 2 for 4. The Trojans had 13 rebounds. 5 of them were offensive and had 9 turnovers. The New Bremen Cardinals had 10 rebounds. 4 of them were offensive and had 6 turnovers. Only had 6 turnovers in the first half. You know, very similar things you're seeing from both teams.
Yeah, there's a reason it's tied. I thought the first quarter, I thought New Bremen played really well, but I thought the really key is that Botkins hung around. They stayed in the game. They could have really got behind. They stayed in, had a much better offensive quarter there in the second quarter, and we're tied at half.
You know, the big moment, and it seems minuscule at times. How about the three by Reagan McFerrin late in the first quarter? Seemed like it took the lid off the basket for the Trojans, because I believe at that time it was about 10-4, 12-4, something like that.
Yep.
And it was just a struggle offensively. She knocked down that three, and it seemed like it kind of brought New Bremen. We've seen them a couple times come out of that zone, and now all of a sudden it started allowing people to get comfortable a little bit more. Camden Paul hit a three, Janelle Plattfoot hit a three, and it kind of seems like it's kind of rolling now for the Trojans.
Individual scoring, 7 different players scoring for Botkins, led by Delaney Pitts with 6, Maddie Fry with 4, Reagan McFerrin with that 3, Janelle Plattfoot also with a 3, and then 4 different players with 2, Camden Paul, Peyton Plattfoot, and Jana Metz. For the Cardinals, 4 different players scored, led by Chloe Homan with 9, Maria Nelson with 7, Mary Rindler with 4, Michaela Firks, who was in foul trouble, with just 2. So tie game. Botkins with the ball here to start the second half. Paul gives it up to Plattfoot. Check the lineup. You have the 2 Plattfoots. You have Delaney Pitts, Camden Paul, Jana Metz playing with 2 fouls, same starters that started the game for the Trojans. Pass it underneath. You know who, Homan with a hand in there for another steal.
She just kind of seems to be everywhere at times for this Cardinals.
Firks with a nice drive. Through a little bit of traffic, Firks with the basket.
You know, she was in foul trouble a lot. That I don't believe she played the second quarter at all, maybe just a couple seconds. So New Bremen kind of worked away. Andy Timmerman worked the waters a little bit without one of his leading scorers on the floor.
Check the lineup. It looks like the same starters for New Bremen. You got Marina Nelson, Mia Hirschfeld, Mary Rindler, Firks, and Chloe Homan. And a nice steal there by Janelle Plattfoot. Oh, and she double dribbles. Both teams have had the great plays and then an unforced error like that. There was, you know, she was doing okay. Sometimes it just happens. It just
five possessions in the second half. Both teams combined 4 turnovers. So, yeah, you're exactly right, Dave. It's kind of both teams are getting some things, and then on the other end, it's like, yikes, what happened?
Firks to Homan, back to Firks. Firks, freshman, gives it up to Rindler. Rebound by Pitts. See if Botkins can tie it up here and get on the board here in the second half. Paul will give it up. So reset the offense. New Bremen played a lot of zone in the first half, especially in the first quarter. They drop back to that 2-3 zone with Hirschfeld and Nelson on the top of that. And there's a steal by Firks. 3 on 1.
4 turnovers for the Trojans.
Nice job by Nelson with the finish.
Nelson.
And a 4-0 run to start here the second half for the Cardinals.
Firks made a nice decision in the middle of that break right there. Had a 3-on-1.
Paul Homan with another board. We don't keep individual rebounds, but she's got to be pushing double digits. Wide open as Hirschfeld wills it in. Nice assist, I think, by Rindler. Down by 6. See if Botkins can hang in there.
New Bremen started the game on a 7-0 run, and now they're starting the second half on a 6-0. And the Trojans have had the 1 deep 3 by Cammie Paul, and other than that, it's been turnovers.
Pitts with the 3 rattles out. Homan clears the board again. To Firks to the basket. Couldn't finish that time. Pitts, Botkins pushing the tempo. Dee with a runner. Rebound Cardinals. Push it ahead. Both teams like to run when they get the opportunity. Firks, nice
good
job.
Move, step through.
She kept moving on her pivot foot until she found an opening. And now an 8-point lead for the Cardinals. Coach Carson will call a timeout. That'll be a full timeout. Cardinals lead by 8. You're watching girls basketball on NK Telco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
Coming out of this Precision Strip timeout, our timeout sponsored by Precision Strip. Coach Carson and the Trojans find themselves down by 8.
Michaela Firks had trouble. She was in foul trouble in the second quarter, didn't play maybe but 30 seconds, and her and Chloe Holman are causing all kinds of issues on the defensive and offensive ends for the Trojans right now. That tandem is really working well. The New Bremen is still in that 2-3 zone, but has really extended it, and now the Trojans can't get off even a good look at a three-pointer there.
Pitts can't hit 15-footer. Holman comes out with the rebound. Abby Burden in the game.
Feels like her 15th of the game.
Firks, that's short there, but Holman can't control that rebound. I think she thought it was off a Botkins player. The men in stripes say no. So Botkins, at some point there needed to put a basket here. The key we talked about in the first half, they hung in the game. They were able to get back when Bremen went up 7 early. They need to do the same here.
And I believe your go-to here has got to be Janelle Plattfoot. At some point in time, you got to get her unleashed a little bit. She's got to get set on one of these wings and on one of those cross courts, be able to knock down a 3.
Pitt's a little bit out of control and she travels. Substitution, Mary Rindler comes in the game. Pair of 20s in the game. Mary Rindler and also number 20, Reagan McPherson in the game as Botkins trying to do a little bit of pressure here.
Trojans halfway through the second quarter, and they've got 5 turnovers already. We talked about it in their 3 losses, averaging over 26, almost 26 turnovers a game.
Holman to the basket. Rindler with the turnaround. Rebound Botkins. They survive that one. Paul trying to find an opening. Pitts thought about a long 3. McPherson, he reset it to Pitts. It looks like, I thought they were switching to a man, but it stays in, kind of matched up on that 2-3. Metz a quick pass. Plattfoot in the corner. Pitts elbow jumper. And Botkins finally off the schneid here in the second half.
Gives Pitts 8 for the game.
3:13 to go. First point for Botkins this half after an 8-0 run that New Bremen started off with. Burden thought about a 3. Nice lob underneath to Holman. Great assist.
That's going to be a matchup issue right there. Reagan McPherson got switched on to Holman, came into the game for Janelle. Holman just pushed her out, and then they threw up over the top of her. But she's a matchup issue because you'd like to have Jana Metz possibly guard her when she's on the block, but then the time or two they've had Jana on her, then she's taking her outside, and now she gets a steal.
Holman tipped that away 2 times there, and finally you're able to keep the second one. Very impressed by Chloe Holman as Michaela Firks back in the game. Coach Timmerman doesn't have a very deep bench, so he's kind of like substituting, getting everybody about a minute break. Put the next girl in. He's only gone 7 deep altogether. There's Holman underneath, turnaround. Rebound by Rindler. Burden open for the 3 and hits the tray. Abby Burden, her first 3 points, and an 11-point lead for the Cardinals.
That one hurt a little bit. Holman, you finally kept her out of it.
And Holman again got her hand on that.
And that's kind of the issue right there a little bit, Dave. That high-low action is there, but it's not there because Holman's getting her arms up and having a hard time. They're having a hard time throwing over the top of it.
Botkins able to tip it away in the lane there to get a steal. Botkins needs a bucket. Pitts trying to make something happen up and under. kicks it out. McPherson with the three. Metz working for the rebound. Drive to the basket there. Maddie Fry will go to the line to shoot two.
That foul's called on Bremen, number 32, Abby Burton. That's her first and team's first.
Foul on Burton.
At the line for the Trojans, number 22, Maddie Fry.
So chance for Botkins to try to cut into this lead with just 1:31 to go in the quarter. Now rattles home. She's 3 of 3 from the line tonight. Janelle Plattfoot into the game for the Trojans. In the game for the Cardinals is Marina Nelson, and also number 34, Allie Bornhorst for the Cardinals.
We'll see what Coach Tyler Carson does here. Is he going to stay in that press? Because they've gotten a little bit out of it, but have they gained enough on the other side, because they've given up some easy looks also. So, I mean, I don't know if the plus minus on it right now is working in his favor on it, but he's got to apply something, because the half-court defense against him has not worked at all.
Burks to Rindler, rolls off. There'll be a foul on the rebound, frustration foul on Rindler, as she just couldn't will that one in.
Number 20, Mary Rindler. That's her second and team second.
Second on Rindler.
And I believe that's 2 or 3, I wouldn't say open layups that they've missed like that. This could be a little bit wider than it is.
Yeah.
The Trojans have gotten a little lucky.
When they had an 8-0 run, they had about 5 or 6 possessions they didn't score and had a chance and
to really blow it open.
Yeah, they haven't delivered the knockout blow on Botkins. They're up by 9, but it could have been much worse. See if Botkins can take advantage of it. Hits with a nice follow. Hits in double figures with 10. So down to 7, and there's almost a steal by Pitts. They will call a foul. It's a good try by Dede.
That looked awfully clean from up here, Dave, but we're not wrapping up here.
No.
This has a little bit of the feel like they had in that late first quarter there, Dave. New Bremen had kind of gotten out about, 7 or 8 points.
Yep.
That's when Reagan McPherson hit that 3. You wonder, is that rebound there and put back by Dede Pitts, is that the kind of, shot that gets you back in it? But now all of a sudden they get to the block.
And that was, I think, a good foul, because Ferks was going to score the layup.
Absolutely.
If McPherson doesn't have the foul, there's dumb fouls and there's smart fouls. I don't know if it was intentional, but Ferks had a layup there, so she has to earn it here with 2 foul shots.
Now, on the other hand, you'd almost like to tell Reagan, foul her up at the free throw line. It would have just went out of bounds, because you've only got 2. That only was the second foul in the third quarter. You could have pushed her all the way out and said, hey, let's just reset up our defense. But it's going to work for the Trojans.
With the new foul rules, Ferks misses them both. Yeah, there'd be more strategies that will come out once people get used to it. And there's the travel. Maddie Fry tried to do a little too much there. With 31 seconds to go. See if Bremen can extend this 7-point lead. Hirschfeld inbounding it. Pitts with a steal. And Fry Mattis traveled there again. Plattfoot's open on the wing. Down to 19 seconds. Pitts trying to work against Hirschfeld as Cardinals have switched back to that 2-3 zone. Down to 7 seconds. Plattfoot. Pass is tipped away, but it'll stay with Botkins with 3.7 seconds to go.
Janelle passed up a 3 down there in the corner that probably needs to get up. She needs to take.
Long 3 by Paul, in and out. And that will end our quarter of basketball. We've played 3 quarters here at the Coliseum. Cardinals lead by 7 on NK Tokyo Sports.
Fourth quarter with the basketball.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
As we go to the fourth quarter, New Bremen leads by 7.
That quarter, New Bremen put 13 points on the board to the Trojans 6, and the biggest issue for the Lady Trojans, 8 turnovers there. They had 4 in their first 4 possessions, never got a shot off, and that's where it kind of went wrong for them there. On the quarter, New Bremen 5 of 13 from the field, 0 for 2 for 3, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. For the Lady Trojans, 2 for 9 from the field, 0 for 4 from 4, and 1 for 2 from 3 as the Lady Cardinals turn it over in their opening possession here in the fourth quarter.
To use a boxing analogy, the Cardinals have had the Trojans on the ropes this whole half so far, but they haven't knocked them out. See if the Trojans can come back on the scoreboard.
And they've had their opportunity, like we said, Dave. They were up 8, and you really felt like they could.
And you know, the first half, Botkins had played a much better offensive second quarter than they did first quarter. They didn't have a very good offensive quarter there. Again, they only scored 6 points. See if they can turn it around here in the second quarter, the fourth quarter.
You're exactly right. They scored 15 in the second quarter there, so see if they turn it around. Now they're picking up the pressure there. Possibly had a turnover, but Janelle Plattfoot got her hands on it.
Full court pressure. I think Botkins has a little deeper bench.
Yeah.
I think they can wear them down a little bit.
Well, right now, letting Chloe Holman getting a half court set hadn't been working, and they're off and running now.
2 on 1 and 1. Good job there by the Cardinals. They had nice spacing there. Nelson did a nice job drawing over the defender, and a chance for the three-point play by Mary Rindler. In and out. There's Holman with the rebound. Free ball by Firks. Nice save. Plattfoot with the basketball. There's a travel by Fry. Oh, but we had
not good. Marina Nelson.
Ooh. Holding her ankle. We'll step away, be back on NK Toko Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Fortunately, Marina Nelson limps off with an injury as she goes to the locker room. Cardinals ball off the pressure. Firks and Holman.
We'll see how New Bremen handles that. Nelson does a lot of ball handling for the Cardinals.
Holman is fouled. That's be the second foul, so we'll keep an eye on the number of fouls as we go along here. Abby Burden was replaced Nelson in the lineup. There's a steal by the Trojans. Oh, and there's just a miscommunication. Plattfoot was not looking for the ball. Coach Harson retrieves it and probably not real happy there.
No, you got your turnover you needed. You got a defensive stop, and then you just kind of gave it back to him a little bit.
Bird trying to break the pressure. Hands it off to Hirschfeld. Holman. Rimmer was wide open. Ferks up and under. Kayla Ferks having a big night.
Gives her 8. In the second half. Sat almost the entire second quarter with 2 fouls.
Lead back to 11. I think that's ties the biggest lead that New Bremen had. If Botkins is getting about that time, they need to make a run. Can only get a possession at a time. Paul squares up for the 3, but that is short. Forks with the rebound.
You wonder how tired that ankle's getting, Dave, because her last couple shots have all been short. Now they've been of the deep variety, but it doesn't look like she's getting that normal lift on her, and that's a great high-low. Good action by Chloe Holman there.
Rindler now with 8. 13-point lead for the Cardinals. They're trying to even their record at 3-3. Botkins trying to break their 500 record to the positive side. There's Holman with another steal. Ferks hesitates. She did a nice job of picking her spots, seeing where it's open. Ferks, 5'10" freshman, very solid player.
Very smart, like you said, picking her points there. She doesn't get in a hurry to get to the lane, but when she makes her move, she goes to that upper crossover there where she lifts it through and she brings it above people and then keeps it out of traffic, does a real nice job. She's a nice young part to that New Bremen team.
Cardinals not able to, had some trouble inbounding, and Coach Timmerman will take a timeout. All the timeouts this season brought to you by Precision Strip. NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NK Telco cable or an NKT.TV app. The replay times on channel 154 is December 20th. That's Wednesday night at 6 on channel 151. Thursday night the 21st. Replay times at 6. Replay times on channel 3 and 503 January 2nd at 2. January 3rd at noon. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. 5:11 to go. Cardinals with a 13-point lead.
We talked about the Trojans and their 3 losses, about 26, averaging close to 26 turnovers a game. They're now up to 20, Dave, with 5 minutes to go.
Pitts with a nice steal. Ball is knocked out of bounds. The turnovers, it's one thing if they're live ball turnovers. The other thing, when you have a turnover, that's your missed opportunity to score. So there's 20 times, that's 10 times or 20 times you didn't get a shoot. If half of those goes in, that's 10 points.
Yep, exactly.
On top of the live ball turnovers. So
you got, on the other hand, New Bremen's got 11 turnovers. And now all the Trojans are up to 21.
No turnovers are good. You can live with 10 to 15, but when you get into that 20 range.
Yeah, they start mounting.
Burden in some trouble, and Coach Timmerman will have to take a timeout.
I don't think he was real pleased where Allie Burden stopped at right there. She come across half court, and the senior stopped right at the line, allowed that trap to take place there, and he had to burn another timeout.
Andy Timmerman, New Bremen graduate, but he started his career coaching, head coaching at Roosh. He did a nice job in 5 years, 82 and 45. His first, and then he had a chance to come back to teach and coach in his alma mater. So 2010, he was on a very good 2010 team. He was a point guard on that team. His last 2 years at New Bremen, he's had 16 and 7 and 10 and 12. New Bremen, before last year, had 8 straight winning seasons. I don't think people realize, yeah, they haven't won state title, but they've been solid, consistent, even a 10 and 12 record. It was a solid year. They've had a solid program. Trying to get going here this season as they pass it too long there to Holman. There's some talent there. It's 3 really good players in Nelson, Ferks, and Holman. What he needs to do is feel that you have more of the numbers that you can fill out. You have a strong 7 or 8 or 9 person rotation.
And what you've seen tonight is Rindler's given them some real good minutes. She's gotten 8 on the game also. So if you can kind of keep getting those parts and get your role players to continue playing well, you know, Abby Burden's done a nice job finding Holman a lot of times. She's done a nice job there. Looked like they wanted a foul right there.
Good job there by Metz to stop Holman from looked like she was inevitable to score. Kick out. There, a shot by McPherson. We will have a jump ball. Botkins with another chance is 4:09. They have yet to score here in this quarter. And they've had those scoring droughts have been the downfall on top of turnovers.
Hey, you're exactly right. And it's been a scoring drought not only for just this quarter, is it, with a minute and a half left. So you're at about 5.5 minutes of game time. The Trojans haven't scored a point.
McPherson with the tray. The chance is Peyton Plattfoot with the rebound underneath the Mets. Over Holman. Firks with the rebound. Pass ahead to Hirschfeld. Pass open is Holman. Good recognition there by Firks.
Good foul by Sophie Braun there.
Yes.
Just take one.
Yep.
Don't let her get the easy 2. Just take the foul. It gets you at 4, so now New Bremen's going to be shooting 2 free throws from here on out. But just take one. Don't give her the easy 2 at the point in time. Good foul by Sophie Braun there.
And even if she makes them, you at least got to rest here. I mean, it's seriously. It's like it's make them earn it. She did, as good players do, but that was a heads-up play by Sophie Braun. But the lead now at 15.
But you're right, the fine by Firks. That young lady, only in game number 7 or 6, excuse me, is getting better and better every time.
Pitts now with 12, and that first 2 points for the Trojans in the fourth. Hirschfeld, pass ahead to Holman. Picks it up to Hirschfeld. There's a long 2. Nice rebound by Firks. Tries to go up, kicks it out. At this point, they don't need to force it back up. 2-point lead. They're a 13-point lead. Cardinals 1-1 in the MAC. The MAC right now is looking at probably the favorite right now is St. Henry. They beat Versailles early in the season by like 10 or 15. Versailles then turned around and beat Marion a couple nights later. Marion's one of them. And then Marion, after that, beat Minster. Beat Minster by 14. And you're thinking Minster's not very good this year. And then on Saturday, they played Fort Laramie. Led that game 2/3 of the time. Pushed Fort Laramie till the end. Fort Laramie won by 3. But I'd say those 4 are definitely the candidates. St. Henry, the contenders, St. Henry, Marion, Versailles, and Minster. Can New Bremen push themselves in that area? That's why we play the games.
And you're exactly right there, Dave. Do I think New Bremen can push themselves to the top of this deal? I don't know with their youth, but I'm going to tell you right now, none of those teams want to walk into the Cardinals' nest over there and play this team with a Chloe Holman playing the way she is and with the way Michaela Firks is going. And if they can make sure Marina Nelson is the key here, how bad is that injury she just had here tonight? Yeah. You know, if she's available and Rindler can keep doing this, that's not a team you want to take lightly.
Those 4 can match up with about anybody from what I've seen if they continue to improve, and especially if Nelson stays healthy.
And you have, you know, like we talked about, Abby Burden's done a nice job off the bench here tonight. You know, Nelson went out and Burden's been handling the ball a lot. She's found Chloe Holman, which is kind of their relief valve right there in the middle on this pressure, and done a nice job with it.
Dribble on the end line, so Coach Timmerman, they have, you know, they have a stretch here. I'll check their schedule. They got a stretch against some Shelby County teams. They play Russia on Saturday. Then they have the New Bremen Holiday Tournament. They play Anna the first game, so they could play 3 straight Shelby County teams. Then the other side, they would either play Miami East or St. Mary's there, so trying to build some momentum. Then they travel to St. John's, who's not very good this year, so they can build some momentum here at the end of the year and into the year before they hit into some of the heavyweights in the MAC.
We talked about that earlier in the game. We said, hey, it's a game. We understand it's a game in December. It's games 6 and 7 for these teams. But it felt like it was important. And New Bremen kind of came out and understood a little bit like, we need to get our train going in the right direction. And you kind of feel like this train is heading in the right direction. And
yeah, when you come back out of Christmas, it's not early anymore.
No, it's no longer early.
It's early. You're into the meat of your schedule. Now you are what you are, and you got to build on that. And then the tournament draw is not that far away. And right now, a big win for the Cardinals as Botkins will travel, let's see, to Houston on Thursday, and then they host Versailles on the 28th. Play at Mississinawa Valley, is a pretty solid team, before traveling to Anna. So some tough tests there with Versailles and Mississinawa around the holiday season. See if Botkins can recover it. They had a solid second quarter, got back at halftime. Just wasn't really able to put it together in the second half.
They've only got 8 points so far in the second half here. And part of the issue is Jana Metz has played extremely well the last 3 games. Chloe Holman's eliminating that situation at the rim. She's blocked 5 or 6 shots where Jana's done a real nice job being able to get to the rim. Chloe Holman's going to cause a lot of issues for people.
Yeah, and that's the case where any team, you have one person. If one person can be stopped, every player can be stopped. Certain matchups, somebody else has to step up. Weren't able to hit the outside shooting, but Coach Carson will regroup. I'm sure he wants to get a win on Thursday before the holiday, before the Christmas break.
Oh, and what Holman does for New Bremen is she makes the other team kind of one-dimensional. You got to stay out of the lane. Like, there's nothing available in the lane, so what did it do? It made Trojans outside jump shooters tonight, and the 3 wasn't going down for them, so it makes it a little bit difficult on you.
That is a ball out of bounds. Some of the scoring, I talk about the 3 scores in double figures, but they didn't seem like they had much. Mary Renner came into the game averaging 2.6. She has 8. Abby Burden averaging less than 2. She scored 6 big points tonight as Chloe Holman will leave. She gets a nice hand from the New Bremen fans, and she has played an all-around good ball game. Pitts with the 3. Ferks with 8. She seems like she's had more.
Well, she's only played just 3/4 of the game.
That's true. There's Allie Bornhorst. Keep an eye on your Bremen team. See how they match up and how they do as the season goes on. I think I have them a couple times going into the season, the rest of the season. So it's always fun when when we announce a game, see a team, then it's like, all right, just watch the box scores. Hey, they're playing so and so. Wonder how they'll do. And it's like, oh, that's better than I thought they would, or it isn't as good.
And it's good. It's fun to kind of see a team progress a little bit. And we talk about the Trojans being young. They're playing Maddie Fry and Peyton Plattfoot, 2 freshmen, an awful lot. So it's kind of interesting to see how are they going to continue to develop as it goes along. And New Bremen's got the same situation. How are they going to develop?
Lexi Wilker with a basket, freshman. That could be her varsity points in her career.
They kind of acted like it, didn't they?
That was a 3 off the blocks. We'll check. We got the stats, and that'll do it. Our final score on our First National Bank scoreboard, New Bremen wins 50-30 over New Bremen. Individual scoring, we'll check first for New Bremen Cardinals as they go to 3-3 overall on the season. Chloe Holman with 15 points. Maria Nelson at 9 points before she left on the injury. Mary Rindler with 8. Michaela Ferks with 8. Abby Burden with 6 points off the bench. Mia Hirschfeld with 2. So once again, the individual scoring for the Cardinals. Chloe Holman with 15. Mary Rindler and Michaela Ferks with 8. Marina Nelson with 9. Abby Burden with 6. Mia Hirschfeld with 2. For the Botkins Trojans, their record falls to 3-4 overall. They were led scorer with Delaney Pitts. She had 12 points on the game. Maddie Fry with 6. Janelle Plattfoot with 3. Reagan McPherson with 3. Camden Paul with 2. Peyton Plattfoot with 2. Jana Metz with 2. So again, for the Trojans, they've had 7 different players score. Delaney Pitts with 12 points. Maddie Fry with 6. Janelle Plattfoot with 3. Reagan McPherson with 3. Jana Metz with 2. Peyton Plattfoot with 2. Camden Paul with 2. Botkins will travel to Houston on Thursday the 21st, and then they will host Versailles on the next Thursday the 28th. For the New Bremen Cardinals, they will host on Thursday. They will host Russia, and then the 27th, 28th, they will host their holiday tournament. They will play Anna in the opening game. The other 2 teams playing in the holiday tournament is Miami East in St. Mary's. Score by quarters, Bremen led by 5 after 1 quarter, 12-7. At halftime, we were all tied at 22. New Bremen, a big third quarter, outscores Botkins 13-6 in that third quarter. They lead 35-28 after 3. And the final score, New Bremen 50, Botkins 30. For the final team numbers, here's Jeremy Plyman.
For the Botkins Trojans, on the night they were 12 of 29 from the field, 3 for 16 in the second half, and that was kind of the undoing. 2 for 17 from 3 and 3 for 4 from the free throw line. They had 21 turnovers. They had 22 rebounds. 9 of those were offensive. For the victorious New Bremen Cardinals, they were 20 for 37 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3, 9 of 14 from the free throw line, 7 of 8 in the fourth quarter, though. When they needed some big ones, they knocked them down. Chloe Holman and Abby Burden, 7 for 8 in the fourth quarter. They had 14 turnovers, 22 rebounds, 8 of those offensively, Dave. Obviously, when you're tied at half and you end up losing, you're down by 20, it's going to show when that shooting percentage, and it did. It was 3 for 16, but the 2 for 17 from 3, that's a lot of threes getting up, and they just weren't accurate enough tonight against a 2-3 zone from New Bremen.
And New Bremen, you said they were 20 of 37 shooting.
20 of 37 shooting.
On the night. It was pretty impressive. They, I felt like they let Botkins back in the game in the first half in the second quarter, but really they came out in the third quarter and just executed, even with Marina Nelson getting injured. Hopefully she is okay. She was a big part of this team, but Coach Timmer and team looked impressive.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they looked real impressive. They got that Chloe Holman is the head of that snake. Michaela Ferks is a freshman, is awfully good sidekick. If Chloe Holman is Batman, that's an awfully nice Robin to have running around right with you.
New Bremen 3-3 overall. Botkins Trojans fall to 3-4. One more order of business. Our player of the game tonight is going to be number 30. We talked about her all night, Chloe Holman.
Chloe Holman finished the night with 15 points, I believe you said, Dave. Endless number of rebounds, altered how many shots at the rim down there. She's their safety net when the Trojans started to try to press in the third and fourth quarter. They find her in the middle of the floor. Then she was looking out, and she was finding on the other side Ferks and Rindler for layups. Outstanding job by the young lady right there. Chloe Holman, our NK Telco player of the game.
Congratulations to Chloe. Congratulations to the Bremen Cardinals. Once again, the final score, New Bremen 50, Botkins 30. For my partner, Jeremy Plyman, I'm Dave Kanapke. Thanks for watching on NK Telco Sports.